Developing now, new details are emerging about the FBI raid on homes owned by rapper P. Diddy.
Is that a doll?
Now, to the latest on the arrest of Sean Diddy Combs, and defense teams are set to discuss the next phase of action following the indictment.
Get a fucking girl, get a drink and some rock, don't drink none of that other bullshit, mother. Party!
I hope y'all are sitting down, because the tea that's been spilled about Diddy will leave you shook. The FBI just searched his house, and what they found is unbelievable. They discovered that Diddy's been throwing wild parties called freak-offs at his place. But what exactly did they uncover that has everyone talking? And how has he managed to keep this hidden all these years? Let's get right to it. If you thought Diddy's parties were wild before, wait until you hear about the freak-off supplies he allegedly had stashed in his mansions. We're talking enough baby oil and lubricant to make a slip-and slide. Underscore that shouldn't even exist. And the craziest part? Tapes that he allegedly used to blackmail people. Girl, buckle up, because we're about to dive into every scandalous detail of what the FBI found that finally led to Diddy's downfall. You might be wondering, how did we get here? How did one of the biggest music moguls in the world end up in the middle of a federal investigation that has everybody talking? Well, it all started with some allegations that Diddy was hosting these freaky drug-fueled parties, but nobody expected it to blow up like this. When the FBI raided his homes in Miami and Los Angeles, they found things that will make your skin crawl. So what exactly did the FBI find, and how is Diddy going to explain his way out of this one? Let's break it all down. Let's rewind for a second. Diddy's been living a high life for decades, throwing legendary parties and being one of the biggest names in music. But behind the glitz and glam, there were whispers about some freaky stuff going on behind closed doors.
As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines. Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-off.
Now, we all thought those rumors about Diddy's freaky parties were just gossip until the FBI got involved. They raided his homes back in March 2024, and what they found was even worse than the rumors. According to court documents, federal agents discovered over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. Yes, you heard that right, 1,000 bottles. I don't even want to know what all that was for, but it definitely raises some eyebrows. But that's not all. The FBI also found illegal ___, 3 AR-15s to be exact, with the serial numbers removed, and a stash of drugs. And to make matters worse, they also found tapes that Diddy allegedly used to.
Right. Just, so if you don't have what they need, they're going to leave.
Right.
Got to keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
People who participated in these freak-offs. Blackmail, so what was all that baby oil and lubricant doing at Diddy's house? Well, according to the indictment, Diddy had an entire staff dedicated to organizing these freak-offs, which included securing supplies like extra linens, drugs, and all that baby oil for his parties. These weren't just any old parties, either. They were multi-day events where the guests would get so messed up on drugs that they had to be given 4 fluids to recover. Yes, you heard that right. Diddy allegedly had medical staff on hand to make sure everyone could party for days. But here's where it gets really dark. The FBI alleges that Diddy used these parties as a way to blackmail people. He reportedly made secret tapes of what went down and used them to control his guests, allegedly forcing them to stay quiet about what really happened. That's where the racketeering charges come in. According to the indictment, Diddy used his entire business empire to fund these parties and keep the operation going. There's more. It wasn't just about drugs and baby oil. According to insiders, these freak-off parties weren't for the faint-hearted. Some guests allegedly had no idea what they were signing up for and were shocked by how extreme things got. We're talking about multi-day orgies where anything went, and there were always fresh supplies for those who were too messed up to keep going. For drips, drugs, and endless amounts of baby oil were always on hand to make sure everyone stayed in the game. And apparently, Diddy was at the center of it all, making sure things stayed under control at least, until the FBI showed up.
At this point, everyone knows Diddy's done. This isn't about Diddy. This is about anybody and everybody that went to that house or the other one, LA or Miami, that did anything after having 3, 4, 5 drinks, and you went to a room and you don't know what happened. You don't know what's recorded. Those guys who went to those parties, they're all calling each other.
And here's where things take a wild turn. It wasn't just party supplies and tapes that the FBI found. Diddy also allegedly used violence and intimidation to control the people at his parties. The feds believe that he used those AR-15s to scare people into staying quiet. And there are even reports of him threatening his employees and guests with violence if they didn't do what he wanted. Girl, this is giving mafia vibes. And I don't know if Diddy's going to be able to talk his way out of this one.
The Bashir conversation for me is not easy. They're trying to slut him out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists.
I'm pretty sure you guys have all seen these videos that are just surfacing from Diddy. This is Diddy of him at a party and what he does to his guests at his parties. Check this one out. Look what he does. Look at him, Adam. It's just during the sun. The sun is out.
Ladies and gentlemen, for all those in London that don't know what happens to the white man when he comes to a P. Diddy party, this is what happens
the white man.
to the white man.
Look, that guy is just...
It's so unfortunate. You gotta pull back, though. Let it get see.
Like, you're proud of that?
That's crazy. Matt, move out the way. You're still alive. Look at that. Look. Would you... Get a drink at his head. And now